Brick Shithouse by Michael Long. Well, how's about another one, Vern? The Reverend paused for a moment, looking inquisitively at his stuffed parrot, Vern. I also looked up at Vern, despite myself, half expecting an answer. Well, I don't mind if I do, Vern. The Reverend answered himself in his Kentucky minor drawl, laughing at Vern's wit for a few minutes before starting on another beer. The Reverend talked with his stuffed parrot as he drank, and as he drank, Vern had more and more to say. After 9 beers, Vern was telling jokes. Okay, Vern, what is the difference between a blonde and a lawnmower? At 18, the Reverend wanted to quit, but Vern demanded that he drink more. Well, maybe I can do one more for old Vern. Around 26, Vern started to become belligerent and aggressive. Hell no, Vern. I'm telling you I didn't mean nothing by it. The Reverend fought bravely to contain Vern's drunken violence. Vern shoved case after case of cheap American draft down the Reverend's parched throat, regardless of the effects it might have on the poor man's health. We sat around a circular patio table, shaded from the Indiana July sun by a large umbrella. The good Reverend, Rick Mossberg, and Rick's parents, Barbara and Dale Mossberg, sat in big, comfortable lawn chairs. Vern, the stuffed parrot, sat on his perch a few feet away under the garage gutter. The patio deck overlooked Indiana Highway 47. We drank and watched traffic. I was fascinated with Rick, his family, and their eclectic group of friends like the Reverend. They lived epic American lives, equal parts black and white matinee, Hunter S. Thompson novel, and after-school special. I was a devoted fan of Rick's southern fried satire and impressive lack of restraint. As the son of a children's dentist from a bland upper-middle-class suburb, I yearned for the excitement of Rick's family. Rick hailed from the coal mining country of Kentucky. Rick's father, with only a 6th-grade education, became a coal miner, bank robber, bartender, Baptist preacher, and house painter, in that order. Rick's mother, Barbara Mossberg, a West Virginia native, was the quintessential Southern woman, a blend of strength and kindness, the backbone of the family. Big-haired, foul-mouthed, and large-breasted, she ruled the family's Beech Grove, Indiana home and partied with Rick's college friends. Rick chose accounting as a college major, which changed my entire view of the profession. I always assumed that accountants pursued hobbies such as stamp collecting or model train restoration. Rick somehow maintained a decent grade point average while passionately enjoying his own extracurricular activities: truck stops, strip clubs, recreational drugs, unplanned pregnancies, and general hell-raising, as his mother called it. He did all of it with a style, grace, and humor that turned conspicuous vices into something akin to performance art. His tastes were too refined for the keg parties and cover bands that comprise the social lives of most undergraduates. Rick treated weekends like an extreme sport. He prided himself on his partying ability, each time providing me with a unique and often dangerous odyssey through the underbelly of the Midwest. Rick introduced me to strip clubs, or titty bars, as they are known throughout Indiana. He avoided the national chains like Deja Vu or the Gold Club, considering them pretentious and overpriced. The seedier places had more entertainment value. His favorite club, Lace and Panties, occupied a dilapidated building conveniently located between interstate truck stops. The strippers didn't really dance here. They sort of stumbled, using the fireman's pole in the center of the stage to occasionally regain their balance. The club served as a last stop for these dancers. The Dominiques, Crystals, and Candies who worked here hid stretch marks, caked on makeup, and argued with their biker boyfriends about child support. Rick was well known here, a regular. He made these trips entertaining and always a little bit dangerous. One Friday night, Lace and Panties had a long line of truckers looking to relax after a week on the road, bikers using the club as a hangout, and assorted thugs ready for the hot adult action advertised in pink neon across the front. I waited in this line behind Rick, carefully avoiding eye contact. Rick paid his cover charge and walked through the large swinging doors. He immediately turned and walked out, announcing to the bouncer in the entire line, "Holy shit, you call this place a strip club? I want my money back. Where are all those hot teenage guys you promised?" Rick was overjoyed when he discovered that the strippers used stage names. I guess most self-respecting people do not name their newborn baby daughter Busty Brenda, and Jennifer just did not have the same pole-chafing appeal as local star Sextasia. Rick introduced himself as a male erotic dancer and asked if we might use the stage for a little choreography that he'd been trying to perfect. He explained to the skeptical bouncer that he had a tag team act entitled Buttermilk Biscuits and a Side of Gravy. Rick's exotic nightlife did not stop at Lace and Panties. In fact, it rarely stopped at all, sometimes continuing for several days. My own tolerance was less adapted than Rick's. I happily crawled into bed, reeking of cheap beer and body spray after the last lap dance around 3 in the morning. Rick would come home from his own Friday night outing early Monday morning, riding bitch on the back of a Softail Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Brenda, the 6'5" lesbian biker that he'd met at the cockfights the night before, would swing her bike into the driveway, helping Rick from the back seat. Rick introduced me to the best place in South Central Indiana to find recreational heterosexual sex, gay bars. The girls were friendlier and less guarded when I approached them with a wine cooler. The bar contained stunning women from the surrounding college and farm towns, tired of the grinding and groping of white trash heterosexual barroom courtships. Periwinkles, or Twinkles, as it is affectionately known in Bloomington, Indiana, is the only gay bar in 70 miles. Its distinct cultural and sexual mix created a scene that could have been directed by David Lynch. The combination of homosexual design sensibilities and small-town white trash culture collided violently on the flashing disco dance floor. An impeccably styled cowboy, complete with black satin hat, Wranglers, and embroidered western shirt, groped the assistant stylist from the local Supercuts. A pair of randy farm hands stole a moment together on the dance floor, while ABBA pumped Dancing Queen from the fur-covered speakers at the edge of the stage. ABBA, Blondie, Pet Shop Boys, and the ever-popular YMCA were the crowd favorites. Rick introduced himself to the bartender as an inspector from the health department. He demanded to know if the frothy blue cowboy cocksucker cocktail had been made with freshly squeezed cowboys. The electronic saloon was the aesthetic antithesis of Periwinkle's. Its customers were decidedly heterosexual, Appalachian poor, and ripe for the 20th century's advancements in dental hygiene. While Periwinkle's customers dueled with catty comments and fashion advice, the electronic saloon preferred a more traditional ass-kicking. After years of living in Seattle, San Francisco, and Chicago, the audacity and rawness of the electronic saloon almost seemed unbelievable. An out-of-control bar brawl was contained by a warning shot from a .45 through the floor of the bar. God help the thrifty auto parts below. The bartenders were dirty, lecherous bastards